What's going on, boys and girls? It's me, Ben DPB, back with another Ben Meets. I'm not going to lie to you, like a second time we're recording. The first one, ballsed up, as you've probably seen on my Twitter. But it's in association, presented by, sponsored by, with Passion4FM, for all your FM needs, graphics, tactics, blogs, guides, and graphics, and tactics, and blogs, and guides, and all the other stuff. I've said it 4 times, but go to Passion4FM, best place to go, as that's where I got all my stuff from. But we're here with DatGuy JayCee. So what's going on, boys and girls? It's me, Ben DPB, and we're back with another Ben Meets in association with, presented by, sponsored by Passion4FM, for all your FM19 needs, tactics, graphics, guides, blogs, etc. Go to Passion4FM. It is the place to go. At the moment, I've got my guest that's here for the second time, because the first time the recording messed up, thanks to him, of course. It wasn't me. It's a guy I'm a big fan of. It's a guy that's growing in the community very, very fast. He was recently spoken about on the WeStream FM podcast. He was also voted the WeStream FM Newcomer of the Year last year, I believe. It's DatGuy JayCee. What's going on, brother?
You've also missed out cover star of FM20 as well.
I have. Oh, fucking hell, I forgot all about that. It's weird seeing you on that.
Yeah, well, I'm just here to brighten up everyone's day.
Do you get any ad revenue for that, you know?
Every time it gets uploaded on FM, I get fuck all.
So before we get started, why don't you tell us very quickly, tell us a little bit about your social media, tell us where all your stuff we can find it, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, so on Twitter, my name is @DatGuy JayCee. I don't know why I went with DatGuy. It was just I needed something more than just JayCee. But yeah, so follow me on Twitter @DatGuy JayCee. I'm also on YouTube @DatGuy JayCee. Nearly 1,000 subscribers. So if you could all jump aboard the 1K train, choo-choo, that would be absolutely incredible. Trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. And that will make my mum love me again.
So what? I want to get straight into FM19. I was a big fan of yours for FM19. There's a lot of you did a variety of saying, which I quite like. There's some guys that are stuck to a journeyman save for the entirety of FM16, 17, 18, 19. There's some guys that are stuck to create a club for the entirety of that thing as well. But you tried a variety of different things. You tried challenges, you tried experiments, you tried journeyman save. Do you have a particular save from FM19, one if you can, that you enjoyed the most? And if so, what about it did you enjoy particularly?
See, it's dead hard to give one answer because there's obviously the 2 big ones from last year were my Rags to Riches save, where I introduced everyone to my alter ego, Tommy Ryan. And I say alter ego, and I bet the missus will kill me because he is a drunk, homeless man from Newcastle, which is definitely not an alter ego I want. But then, on the other hand, was working with Mickleover Sports and getting to meet a couple of the lads like through that team there and stuff like that. So it's 2 completely different saves. But I think that's the thing with me. I get bored quite easily. I need like a challenge because, like I explained to you last time, but no one would have heard it yet other than me and you. My job. Well, the job I'm trained in. Like I said to you, I was an estate agent.
Yeah.
And I had to be professional in a day. Like JayCee is a character I play realistically, but it's just me with a ramped up to 11. And because of that, it's brilliant for me to get my creativity out instead of just sat into an office talking to some rich ponce that wants a house for 1.4 million.
That's not something that many of us are used to. I can barely buy a pack of chewing gum, let alone a fucking house for 1.4 million. So that doesn't sound too bad to me.
Yeah, I wasn't very good at selling them, hence why I'm not an estate agent at the minute. I'm back to working in pubs again. But yeah, no, that's the thing, mate. Obviously, I did that, and that's when I started creating YouTube videos. And I've done a couple of journeyman saves, and I've done a couple of lower league saves. For me personally, I do love where you take a lower league team all the way up. But that's one little fact. I'm that shit with computers. I've never actually won anything too good because my computer always crashes and then I don't know what to do. So I just like walk away in anger and like a little boy and spit his dummy out.
Walk away, walk away. Sorry, get up yourself. I've been watching too many of your videos of the singing and whatnot.
Well, that's it. I've always been someone that wants to be centre of attention, and this YouTube stuff works perfectly for me for doing that. Like I said, I used to be a singer, was a estate agent. I worked at Greg's. I've worked in restaurants. I'm a qualified doorman. Like, there's loads. You know what? I'll tell you a story. It's got nothing to do with anything, but I know you're going to piss yourself listening to it. So I used to work for G4S, which is a security company. There are other good security companies out there. G4S are fucking useless. And at the age of 18, they employed me to be a security guard at the London Olympics. And they made me work 6 days in a row, 12-hour shifts. And then they turned around and said, right, here's your wages for the week. You've got 3 days off now. If you want to go out for a drink, there's a bar around there. Watch what you're doing, really, because we were. I'm trying to. What's the best way to describe it? They gave us job roles, and they gave us the jobs of stood outside people's hotel rooms to make sure that while they slept, that no one would talk to them, and we'd have to like walk like bodyguards kind of thing, but not at the same time. And there's a couple of lads there who got the Brazilian women's volleyball team. And we were like, oh, yes, who are we going to get? And they were like, so for you chaps over there, you've got the Australian men's canoeing squad. And they were like, good eye, how you doing, mate? You all right? And I'm like, oh, you're too bulky for me to go back to my hotel room and pleasure myself about. But
did you try anyway?
Oh, it worked a treat.
Nice one. Good to know.
It's not the hardest wank I've ever had. Go. So at the end of the 6 days, went out on the piss, and I can't remember a thing. And I woke up the next morning, and I looked down, and my sheets were just brown. And I was like, oh, God, what have I done here? And we'd gone out, got absolutely rat-arsed, and got back to the hotel, me and this lad had. And I thought it'd be dead funny to take all my clothes off and run down the side of a mud bank.
As you do.
Bear in mind, we're staying in the same hotel as all the athletes that are like around about, and also Sky News, who could have quite easily ruined G4S for that. I also ran through a wedding that was in the marquee of the hotel we were staying at as well.
Naked?
Yeah, bollock naked.
Legend.
Completely brown. And basically, by the sounds of it, gone back to the hotel room and shit in the bed as well.
Shit in the bed, nice one.
So next day, Mum and Dad came up to see me, see how I was. I was like, yeah, had a good night last night, blah, blah, blah. They left, went back to Derby. 11 o'clock at night, I get a phone call from G4S asking me to come down to the office. And I didn't think much of it, so I went down in a penguin onesie. And they were like, so we've had some rumours that last night there was a certain member of staff who works with us who ran around the hotel naked, and we believe that to be you. And of course, if I could teach anything to anyone, ladies and gentlemen, it is to deny everything. I did deny everything. They then turned the computer screen round to a camera of me getting dressed before walking back into the hotel, shoving my middle finger up and helicoptering my penis towards the security camera.
Was it a flattering angle?
No.
Oh, no.
Well, to be fair, that was the last time I saw my penis. I'm a big lad now. But yeah, I got sacked on the spot and sent back to Derby that very same evening.
So back to one of your points earlier, okay? What is one of the best wanks you've had then?
Oh, God. There's a few. You know, after like you've been to a strip club, that's a good one. One of the worst ones, I'd say worst one's probably my nan's shoot. No, I can't say that.
I've been there, mate, last weekend for me. So yeah, I've been there, brother, in the toilets.
I'll tell you what I did do at my nan's shoot. I did a game called Battle Shits with my mates on Snapchat, where you take a picture of yourself having a shit in the most awkward places.
What?
Yeah.
What did you do in the fucking casket?
No, I did it at the wake. Like, I just took a screenshot, and then that game's been retired ever since.
That is staying in.
Yeah, mate, can all stay in, but back to FM.
So one of the things I like about your videos, you've got to come up with a content creator to do the same thing, where they have their friends or their girlfriends get involved. You have a number of people that get involved in your videos, from your dad to your significant other to your friend. Is that something to see carry on in FM20 with you?
Yeah, hopefully more people as well, because I think that's the beauty of it. Is loads of people have said they want to be involved now, and that's not just like people who I've met from YouTube. It's actual people who are part of our family. So like my cousin is a stand-up comedian. He wants to write loads of jokes for it, which I'm more than happy with. My dad's obviously in my new series again. My two best men for my wedding, they're in it this time. My missus is going to be in it again. One of my friends is a school teacher. She's going to be in it. She's been in it a couple of times. I can't release her name or anything because obviously she is a school teacher, but so far her roles in my series have been prostitute number 1 and what else did she play? She played this secretary. And like, there's just you like some people here that you do it. They're like, oh, if you ever need me, like, more than welcome to. And like, for example, there's quite a famous actor called Jack O'Connell. He's from Derby.
I love him.
Yeah, well, he's my cousin's best mate.
No.
So I'm trying to convince him.
That would be insane.
I want to do something like that because I think having him on, I think that would be hilarious.
He's in two of my favourite programs, Skins and The Runaway. He's in both of those, and he's awesome.
Yeah, like that. I've known him for years because my dad used to work at the railway with his old man as well.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for what? I'm 26 now, so probably known each other about 20 years.
Wow.
But yeah, he's always said no so far because I think his career is actually quite good.
A little bit. I mean,
yeah.
He's only done a couple of Hollywood films, isn't he? So he's doing all right, I suppose, for a Derby lad.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I do want to say is your missus, actually be part of any BAFTAs for her acting, because she's fantastic when it comes to the old reading the script and whatnot, isn't she?
Mate, she's fucking wanker. It was like, I remember the first time I turned around to her and said, like, right, I need you to interview me. And she was like, what for? And I was like, this is what I'm doing. And she just says, yeah. Like, she has a go at me. She's like, oh, I've just sat down to watch EastEnders and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, come on, 5 minutes, let's do it. And she reads it. And then I get to do it again, and she reads it exactly the same. So I released it, and everyone was pissing themselves. Like, all my mates would gather around to watch it with her first bit, and they were all pissing themselves, and they said how shit she was, but she's so shit in it that it makes it twice as funny.
Agreed, 100%.
So I've just always said to her, let's leave it as that. There are some points where I turn around to her, and she says words wrong. Like, she had to interview me the other day and say the word rotund, but she doesn't know how to pronounce it, so she kept going rotund. And I was like, right, we're going to start this again, it's rotund. And she was like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, right, with this one, when I put a question mark at the end, it is a question, so you need to ask me a question, not just like, will the bath be ready? Or like, will the bath be ready? That's how you say it. And she's like, fuck off.
It's I sometimes find her funnier than you. Honestly, hearing her read it is like hearing my 8-year-old boy read it, where he just reads it robotic, like, hello there, how are you? I'm not trying to dish your missus, but it's so funny. It is really funny.
She'll be the first one to, like, if I keep slacking her off, she can hear me. I know she can. Like, I've got the but if she, like, she'll turn around and go, well, I won't do it anymore then. But I know that, like, she will be one of the first person to admit that she's shit. But there's only one reason she's shit. It's because she couldn't give a fuck.
But everyone likes her for it. I don't mean that, and it's not in a horrible way, but she's funny with it. You know what I mean?
Someone wrote an article on me last month on I think it was FM Scout, talking about me Tommy Ryan series, and for a paragraph it just talks about her. And she was like, oh, I didn't realise so many people like me. I was like, they like you more than fucking me.
That's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, when I watched you, because I rewatched your 100 subscriber video. I can't remember. I watched one the other day. 500. 500. But I rewatched one the other day where you did a Madeline McCann joke. And just here and there asking you the questions while you're sitting there in your wife's bikini was hilarious. It really, really was. And
the beauty about that bikini was she'd bought it 3 days before, I think. And then I came downstairs wearing it and she went fucking mental at me. And she's like, that won't fit me anymore. I was like, shut up, love, you look like me with the wig on. Of course it's going to fit you. But it doesn't. I've completely stretched it. So it now lives in my dressing up box that I own as a 26-year-old man.
If you haven't watched it, you basically got JayCee sitting there in a dressing gown, shorts, a bikini top, and a cowboy hat, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's a weird combination of an outfit.
I hope I never get arrested and the police have to raid my house, because Jesus Christ, the stuff they'd find in my drawers. Like, as a 26-year-old man, I've got a princess crown, a bikini, a Make America Great Again hat, a polyester mask of Kim Jong-un.
As you do.
And just loads of other little shit and trinkets and stuff, which I always keep in case that I need to do a series.
I mean, a Saturday night when you and your wife dress up for each other must be a right fucking experience in your house, I'm telling you.
She hates me, so we don't do that sort of stuff.
One of the things I also like about your series is the fact that, like Loki Doki, you tend to have a guy that you fall in love with, shall we say. We previously had Calvin Andrew, among others, that you fell in love with. Tell us about the guy that you fell in love with for FM19.
Yeah, so for me, it was always Calvin Andrew. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, until last year it was anyway. Like, I'm a massive Rochdale fan. I fell in love with Calvin Andrew. He must be the only striker in history to have played for 150 games for one club and only scored 4 goals.
He played for Luton as well, by the way. I'm a Luton Town fan. He played for Luton at one point.
Yeah, I think he's from Luton.
Yeah,
born and bred.
He was shit for us as well.
Mate, don't get me wrong, he was shit for Rochdale, but I think because he was so shit, I fell in love with him. To a point, I made the missus wait after a Rochdale game for 2.5 hours so I could finally get a signed shirt from him. And I wore a shirt to Wembley saying, I love Calvin Andrew, when we lost 6-1 to Tottenham. And that was about 3 days before the restraining order came out. But just started, obviously, FM19 with Mikolova, who asked me to come down and be part of their club, and I could record there, and I could take pictures with the players, speak to the players. But none of the players were allowed to record to be on my series, as it were, because I think someone owns the rights to the kits and stuff like that, or something along them lines. And I got talking to one lad. Obviously, I fell in love with Nathan Jarman, and the phrase "Nathan Jarman, you beautiful man" became a thing, which obviously led to T-shirts, and then led to Nathan Jarman direct messaging me on Twitter asking me if he could buy a T-shirt. And a couple of the lads from Micklow wanted to buy a T-shirt, so obviously gave them to them. And just ever since then, this bromance with Nathan Jarman has just blossomed, and it's blossomed so much that he is coming on my stag do next year.
That's amazing, really.
It's like, so he just started talking, and obviously I got engaged, and he messaged me straight away saying, mate, I love that, congratulations to you and the missus, she must be a fucking nutcase if she's going to marry you, which is massively understandable, I think, if everyone watches my stuff. And then he just turned around and was like, let us know when the stag do is, mate, because me and there's a lad called Mason Warren that played for Micklover, me and Mace will come, and just stuff like that. And he's the one that got me talking to, for example, Clinton Morrison played at Micklover Sports last year. And Clinton Morrison, I had a chat with him because I have a thing where I record people's interviews of players and then I do the voiceover for it instead of the actual players. And obviously Clinton Morrison played for Ireland, so they all ripped into him because of the accent that I gave him during the series. So it was like an interview, so Clinton, how do you think the match went today? Oh no, the game was great. Now I had a great time now playing. You know, my name's Clinton Morrison. I was born in Birmingham, but I have this accent now. The lads had rinsed him for that, and I think that was the thing. Micklover, they were doing dead bad last year, and I'm not saying that it was me that stopped their relegation.
Well, you are.
But yeah, it was. But no, Jarmo said to me, he's like, the lads had come in.
Look at you, Jarmo. Jarmo said to me.
Well, the Jarmeister, he turned around to me and he was like, "Look, I'm not even gonna like blow your trumpet here, but the lads have come into training and we're laughing about the series and who's done shit, and we're all like, it was like more of a camaraderie thing. So I'm going to put it on record that I saved Middlesbrough Sports from relegation last season.
Fucking hell. I mean, so obviously your friendship with Jarmo led to your upcoming save, I believe.
Mr. Jarman, please.
Sorry, Mr. Jarman. Your relationship, shall we say, with Mr. Jarman led to your upcoming save for FM20, is that correct?
Yeah, so obviously I can call him Jarman because we're on that level now. No, but like I just got a message from Jarman going, "Hey, mate, I've been released from Middlesbrough and I've been offered a job as a player assistant manager." And I was like, "Oh, fair play, mate. Like, where is it?" And he said, "Oh, it's up in Lincoln." And Lincoln's probably about an hour and 20-minute drive from me. And I was like, "Oh, fair enough, mate. I'm looking for something a little bit more close to home." But yeah, I might do that as a series next year. Just give us a shout. Next minute, I got a message from like one of the Lincoln social media guys. "Hey, mate, Jarmo's messaged me. He said that you might be interested in being us on FM next year. I'm a big fan of yours. I've been watching your stuff for ages. I'd really like you to come up and meet with us, and we'll meet with the chairman. We'll give you loads of stuff, and we'll just go from there." So I went up, met them. Absolutely a great set of lads. Met the chairman, and we agreed to it. And I was like, "Look, as long as it's not official, so that I don't get tied down into what I have to say, etc. But I just like it if you would help me at the start, like giving me a load of information." So they've sent me like a massive list of every player they've got signed on, all the date of birth, positions, like that kind of thing. They've sent me scarves, mugs, drinks bottles, badges, everything to give away to people. They want. They've been amazing, and like the chairman sat me down when we were having a chat, and he was like, "So basically, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing
Frank fucking Butcher."
Yeah, so you know me, I'm really good with accents and people. But he's like, "Yeah, if you, as long as there's no swearing, no racism, no profanity, I'm more than happy to have you on board." And I was about to say something, and the bloke was like, "Yeah, that's his sort of stuff. He's friendly content, etc." Once the meeting had finished, I turned around to the bloke. I was like, "Why have you said that? Because that's just a complete lie." He went, "The bastard won't watch it anyway. So don't worry about it. I'll just keep telling him that everything's good." But yeah, they've been absolutely amazing with me so far. All the like they've got players. I think they haven't got like standout players who, like last year with Middlesbrough, it was a good laugh because I had people like Ricky Ravenhill that used to play for Doncaster. He's at Middlesbrough Sports. We had Pablo Mills, ex-Derby County. He was at Middlesbrough, like Clinton Morrison, stuff like that. I think the biggest name we've got is Danny North, who used to play for Grimsby, and he was LMA manager's version of Cherno Samba.
Really?
Yeah. Like he's half decent striker, but other than that, they're all like lads who've all played for North Ferriby, Gainsborough Trinity, that kind of level of club. So it's going to be a good challenge. I'm looking forward to it. I set myself some rules, which will be in episode 1 when that comes out eventually. But yeah, it's just been brilliant, really.
So tell us a little bit about, because I saw your outtakes, shall we say, when you were recording the start of your FM20 save. And I mean, I was pissed myself laughing just watching the outtakes, let alone watching the actual footage. Tell us a little bit about what happened with that.
Oh, I know exactly what you want me to say. Yeah, so basically the club invite, like we're on about, because that was the thing, I decided to sponsor a player this season as well, because I was like, you know what, they've done loads for me, I want to give something back. So unfortunately Jarmo was already taken, so I sponsored Michael Emery, who was a goalkeeper. I think he was made quite famous from Dr. Benji's save of Thames, I can't remember how you pronounce it, but he was part of that save. And I was like, "Oh, brilliant! I'll sponsor him." Since they have released him, so I'm no longer sponsoring anyone. But they were like, "Oh, why don't you come up? We'll get you into the game. You can do do your bits and bobs. As I said to me, my two mates, one of them is going to be playing a lad called Matt Carbon in the series. You can follow him now on Twitter at MattCarbon1. He's going to be like one of my coaches, and there's a reason why I had to bring him onto the team, which you'll see. And also my mate who is he's like a head sports reporter for Nottingham Panthers ice hockey, and he's a radio DJ, etc. He's going to be playing Richard Bacon, I think, or Andy Peters. I haven't decided what his name's going to be yet. Who's just a sports reporter. And they invited us up to do some interviews and stuff. So we're doing them all. And next minute, the tunnel goes off. So we waited, let that finish. And they were announcing, like, the match sponsor for today is this person. The ball sponsor for today was Flying Imp. And I looked on the side and it looks like it says flyinggimp.co.uk. Which made me chuckle to myself a little bit. And then they were like, and we're also at half-time, Chairman Robert Bradley will be producing a cheque to a local charity that we've raised money for. We've raised over £775, something like that anyway, I can't remember the total. And that will be taking place at half-time. And also, and I was like, please don't announce that I'm here, because I'm not going after a cancer announcement or a charity announcement, because that is just ridiculous. And they were like, YouTube sensation. And I was like, what do you mean sensation? Like, YouTube sensation, DatGuy JayCee is here. He's going to be doing Lincoln City this year. He's over by the toilet, so if you do want to get involved, go over, and he'll be recording for before kick-off. So if you want to be part of his save, go over and have a chat with him. He's a lovely lad. Da-da-da-da-da. And all my mates were saying was, you bastard. I was like, I didn't choose when they had to announce that. Like, they've just announced they've done £700 for charity, followed by I'm here. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, just say that's an amazing achievement. Not having me there. The amazing achievement is to raise money for a cancer charity. Not that some fat lad from Derby who makes a couple of Madeleine McCann jokes on the internet is here to record some things. But yeah, so that happened, and then so we're recording like the jokes and stuff like that, and that's where I don't know whether I know you have Ben. You've seen it, but like some people might not have. On Twitter, I released one of my outtakes where I'm talking and I tell a joke. But as I'm telling the joke, and it's quite crude, I look over to my right hand side and there's all these kids and adults staring. And I realise that they're all listening to what I'm saying. And one of them just like grabs the child and like marches them away, and it just my mate catches it on camera, and it's just so awkward, and they all like disperse and like go away, and we're just like, oh, what have we done?
The look at your face, mate, is fucking hilarious.
Mate, one of the bad ones though is one of the sketches, I come out of the ladies' toilet and I'm wiping my mouth. And I did that just as I didn't realise, but one of the local blokes who'd rode his bike down to the game parks his bike next to the toilet.
As you do. And
as he would putting his bike chain on, I walked out the ladies wiping my mouth. And he just looked at me with utter disgust, because Lincoln is quite a posh place. And, well, people might disagree with me, but I'm from Derby. So anywhere that's, like, not full of crime.
Fucking Beirut is fancy compared to you. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, mate. I do feel like I've been brought up in Syria. But yeah, it's been a surreal experience so far. We've not even started the save yet. Like that's the weirdest thing. We've had all this stuff, and I've not started a thing.
I'm genuinely super excited for this save. I really am. You know, hearing previously before I fucked up the recording, and hearing you talk now about it now, mate, it's going to be awesome. The skits you've got lined up, the friends you've got lined up, your dad getting involved, your missus. Now, hopefully we've got old James or Jack O'Connell, getting involved as well. You know, who knows? It's going to be awesome. No pressure, but it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put any money on Jack coming on the series.
Why don't we start a Twitter campaign? Everyone fucking starts badgering him on Twitter to get the podcast. Get him on the show even.
Oh, look at you! You tried it. That's a secret thing, isn't it? You've already released it. That's why. If that fat fucker from Derby can get him, I can get him on here.
No comment. No comment. So FM20, we spoke about your plans for FM20 and what you're going to do. Now, the beta is just finished. The full release is out. Now, we know there was a little bit of a problem regarding hidden stats and determination, etc. You're playing your Kings of Leon save, which has gone down fairly well. In fact, it was even mentioned on the We Stream podcast, but they were liking it. How are you finding the Leon save?
Well, it's actually called the Leon King.
All right, the Kings of Leon sounds better, actually. I'm not going to lie, I just thought about that. The Kings of Leon.
But I didn't get to... If I did the Kings of Leon, I wouldn't have been able to do that fantastic rendition of... Mama City Bar. Yeah, literally, I released it, and it was like a copyright issue. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to...
You're shitting me, really? Fucking Disney came after you.
Oh no, not for my version. I put the original out.
Oh right, I was gonna say
they definitely didn't come after me for my version.
Fucking Disney.
That fucking ridiculous. But yeah, it was literally like, oh, you need to do something here. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do it myself now. That's when I did it, and I was like, this sounds so shit. Because that's the thing with me, like everything I do. If I had the money to, like, my mind, we would come up with some, like, Steven Spielberg-esque YouTube videos. Like, they'd be fucking incredible. But because I've got no money and wank budget and I'm shit with computers, they come out terrible. But because they come out terrible, everyone thinks I've done it on purpose and they think it's a good joke. And I'm like, hey, yeah, I meant that. Yeah. But,
I mean, you become quite synonymous with sitting on the toilet. You've done it a couple of times now in your video. Is that where you think of all your skits, sitting down now for the good old-fashioned dump, or is that just where you can be found most days?
Mate, that's one way of telling me that I do the same joke too much, but...
No comment.
No, but it's like, sometimes I'll just be sat like somewhere random and I'll think of a sketch and I'll try and write something down quickly. But that's the thing, if I sit there, like, I've wrote loads of jokes, and if I sit there and write them down, okay, maybe out of 10, 4 of them, 5 of them will hit and the rest will miss. But I found that a lot of the stuff, if I come up with it on the spot and I say it works out 10 times better. Like, there's a game that some of the lads on Twitch use called Use Your Words. And it's very similar to what's it called? Cards Against Humanity, but you write the cards yourself. So it came up saying, I passed my kidney stones this week. What should I do with them? And the first thing that came into my head was sell it to Saudi Arabian husbands whose wives are cheating on them. And like, that's probably one of the funniest things I've ever come out with. But because it was like instant, on the spot, got to come up with something, that's where it works best. And that's where I write loads of stuff down. Like, what's the worst name for a dog? So I came up with Adolf Hitler.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a brilliant game. And it helps me. Like, I've come up with like some names like this year. Like, my favourite kind of jokes is where someone gives you some shit and then you come back with like a name that's changed a little bit. So like, there's a lad who I work with who did a boxing match and he got beat and he took the piss out of my name, so I turned around and went, all right, Fanny Pacquiao.
Fanny Pacquiao.
Like, I like that kind of stuff, and it's quick, dry, and when I come up with something on the spot, it's so much funnier than when I've spent 6 weeks trying to write something.
It's funny, because when you say words like quick and I could describe my sex life. Quick and very, very dry. So what I want to get, there's a new feature that I want to bring in. It's basically where I fire 11 questions at you, spitfire questions, answer them as quick as you can, as honest as you can. 11 questions because, well, 11 men in the football pitch. So we're going to get going. Are you ready?
11 men in a spit roast? I'm always in.
Saucy little bugger. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Who do you support?
Rochdale.
Your favourite content creator?
Bood FM.
FIFA or Pro Evo?
FIFA.
Favourite film?
Snatch.
Favourite TV show?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Brick. Favourite meal?
Every.
Your favourite 3 players of all time?
I will do it. Favourite 3 players that I've seen play live. So Ronaldinho, Henrik Larsson, and Thierry Henry.
Larsson's a fucking shout. So underrated.
Massively. He was absolutely incredible.
So if you could make any one superpower, what superpower would it be?
100% invisibility, so I can go into girls' changing rooms. I mean, nothing, darling. I wouldn't have super strength, because if I had a wank, I'd rip every cock off.
And a good old-fashioned club versus country. So Rochdale winning the Premier League or England winning the World Cup?
I couldn't really give a shit about England winning the World Cup. I'm Irish, but...
oh, really? My bad, sorry.
Yeah, no. My mates will kill me for that because I'm not actually Irish. I just claim to be. But 100% Rochdale winning the Premier League, that it will never happen. They won't even win League One. But yeah, it's country. Following your country is nothing nowadays. It means fuck all.
Sadly, you're right. I mean, I'm a Wales fan, so for me, we had a rocky 400 fucking years. But thankfully, the last sort of decade, we're looking a bit better. World Cup semi-final, which is pretty nice. And hopefully we should qualify tonight for the next stage, but who knows. But me, Luton Town versus Wales, I would probably pick Wales at the moment just because it's been so long for us without actually winning anything that we never have. But that's just me.
Well, fair enough, mate. Well, speaking of breaking news, Pochettino has just been sacked by Tottenham.
He has, has he?
Yeah.
Who's you actually going to go for the Spurs then?
I reckon Mourinho will want it. Ancelotti will probably be a good share, but personally, the best person that could have possibly taken that Tottenham job is Eddie Howe.
Oh, for me, there's 3 guys: Eddie Howe, Sean Dyche, and Rafa Benitez are the 3 that I'd like to see considered.
Yeah, see, sure, I think Rafa Benitez is one of the most overrated managers.
Really?
Yeah, personally, because I think, okay, he did a good job in Newcastle and he's done a good job. Like, fair enough, he went to there when they were in the Championship and he got them back up to the Premier League, and he might have worked wonders with them if it weren't for Mike Ashley. But I just think he's always he gets given so much praise by Newcastle for taking up a Premier League side in the Championship.
But he also won La Liga, was it twice with Valencia? I think it was.
Yeah,
fair enough. With Liverpool, he won the Europa. I think it's basically Europa League now. But
all right, stop proving me wrong.
He's not a world beater by any means. Hence why he's never. I about to say he's never managed Real Madrid. But he has managed Real Madrid, didn't he?
He has, yeah.
So he got a sack, didn't he?
Yes.
But I like Rafa Benitez. I think Spurs would be a good little fit for him. I don't think he's going to win any fucking trophies there because everyone knows the issues Spurs have in regard to their finances, how much they will or how much they won't spend on wages, let alone transfer. And that's going to be Pochettino's unfortunately shortfall that they've never been able to bring in the top class players. They're going to lose Ericsson on a free transfer by looks things. Alderweireld and Vertonghen might go on a free transfer. Hugo Lloris had looked poor for the last year or two. A lot of work needs to do with that team. So if anything, I think Poch has done fucking well getting out of there now. But some other poor bastard got to come in now and try and fix him. So there we go, boys and girls. Another episode over with a fantastic guest in JT. If you haven't done so already, I highly recommend that you do follow him on all his social media. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. Again, definitely one for the days. A little bit blue, but honestly, he's fucking hilarious. And before you make your move, brother, tell us all about where we can find you again. And yeah, you much appreciate it, dude. Thanks for coming on.
No, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. I love doing stuff like this, and even if you make me do all the same questions again twice.
You acted really well. Was my acting really good? I act surprised by your answers. Oh wow, I've never heard that before.
Oh, better acting than my missus anyway. But yeah, so obviously this year on YouTube I've done doing the Leon save. Obviously we're doing Lincoln United. Sorry. Jesus Christ, that'll get me shot. Hopefully in the tits, but that makes no sense. But whatever. Yeah, so I'm doing Lincoln United on YouTube, so make sure you come over, check that out for me. It's at DatGuy JayCee on Twitter, YouTube, anywhere you like, Grindr, your choice. I'll come with you to all of them.
Without any further ado, I'm going to bid you all adieu. I'll see you guys later.
See you in a bit.